Okay. Okay, everybody is very crooked. Just give me 2 seconds to make everyone less crooked. Put the tripods at full height because I'm very tall. There. Oh, too much. There we go. Okay, I think, yeah, I'm happy. I could probably put them down a little bit more so you're seeing a little bit more of me and less of the wall behind me. I also don't want them to point too far down because then I can't like see myself on the camera because it's like pointing weird. There. Is that better? Okay, I think I'm happier with that. Perfect. All right. Good morning, everybody. I'll be back in 2 seconds. I'm just gonna go blow my nose. It's been over 3 weeks, so I've been fighting with this same cold. I think I'm like 95% through it, but I still have a bit of a sniffly nose, so I will pop off camera and just deal with that so you don't have to listen to me snuffle the whole time. Hey Reen, hello. Okay, it's been like 2 minutes, I think. Sorry, I'm gonna be like OCD and make sure that the cameras are like perfectly straight because otherwise it will bother me. Okay, I think we're good. All right, I think that has been enough time for us to go ahead and get started. Good morning, everybody. My name is Michelle. I am the plus size model, well, one of the plus size models here at Lavender and Lance Boutique. I am the 3X model, sometimes a 2X, still usually a 3X depending on what it is. So the upper end of the plus size clothes that we carry here at Lavender and Lace. I go live every Tuesday at 11 a.m. Mountain Daylight Time to try on all of the plus size pieces or anything, even if it's not like explicitly labeled as plus, anything that is going to work for a plus size body like mine. I will try on just so that we all get to try and see how things fit. Yeah, and so for reference, I am 6'1". I'm very tall, so I tend to talk about length and stuff quite a bit just because that does affect me being quite tall. I wear a 3X typically top and bottom. I'm a 18W in Judy Blues, and I do occasionally size down to a 2X, but I'm still most consistently a 3X. Numerically, in other brands, I'm usually between an 18 to a 22. I wear a 2 at Torrid most often, occasionally a 3. So that is me. And anyways, let's start with what I am currently wearing. I definitely wanted to start in pajamas because I have had a very, very busy, stressful last couple of weeks between trying to fight this cold, and I have been super, super busy at work on a very like high stress, like tight deadline project. So I've been working crazy hours. I've been so tired. And so I was like, I definitely just want to put pajamas on, and that is exactly what this is. So I'm going to start with the Shirley launch that this actually launched yesterday. We had a pretty substantial Shirley launch. We had a bunch of tee and jogger sets, and then we had a few of the sleep shirts. That is what I'm wearing right now, is the Shirley sleep shirt. This is in the pattern called Sunflowers. These are available in sizes small through 3X. I wear the 2X. I've been kind of between a 2X and a 3X for quite a while with Shirley, but for the pajamas, but I've started wearing a 2X consistently in Shirley pajamas. So I am wearing a 2X in this sleep shirt, and I also wear a 2X in the tee and joggers sets. I will grab all of the colors so that I can show them off. I'll start with the other two sleep shirts that we have here. These are gorgeous. I put on the Sunflowers one because I love this shade of yellow. I love the color yellow, but it can be hard being so pale to find yellow that works for me. But I find that this kind of sunflower yellow does work for me. It doesn't wash me out. It's rich enough that it still pops out, and then having these like really nice pinks and maroons to tie it all in, it definitely helps and makes it work a little bit better for my pale skin tone. I love this shade of yellow. I feel like this kind of yellow looks really good on everyone, especially people with deeper skin tones. This yellow just pops and looks incredible. So this is the Sunflowers pattern. We also have the Sage Floral. This would have been my second choice. I really like this one as well. I like that this floral is almost more like cartoony, like they look like comic book flowers with the really harsh black outline. Super pretty, definitely more of like a cutesy, like whimsical print as opposed to a more realistic floral. And then we have this one, which is a more realistic floral. This is the rose floral, where we have these really nice big rosettes. I was gonna say rose colored, which yeah, of course they are. They're literally roses. We've even got some little like pops of red roses on here and the really nice kind of like faded leaves on some of them. So these are really pretty. Excuse me, I am so sorry. And so these are the three colors that we had for the sleep shirts. Again, their size is small through 3X. I wear a 2X in these. And then I'll also show off the jogger sets that we got as well. We got, I think, some of the same pattern and then a couple different ones. So again, the sleep shirts, I don't know if I told you how much these cost. I think they're, I want to say 50 something. They are $52. Okay, I was pretty close. I was going to say 54. And then we have the tee and jogger sets, and they are going to be available for $56. And so they come as a set, so that includes both the tee and the pajama joggers. And they're available in sizes extra small to 3X. And like I mentioned, I wear the 2X in these as well. So these are the patterns that I have here. We have that rose floral that we also saw in the sleep shirt. And then we also have the sunflower pattern in the jogger as well. That comes in the sleep shirt. Probably my favorite of the patterns. We have the blue moon, which is this adorable Highland cow print. I love it. I love that it's got the flowers in it too, and that the cows are wearing the flower crowns. That is friggin' adorable. I also love that it's got this like plum purple color. I feel like that's a really pretty contrast. Oh, I believe it, Belinda. It's so pretty. And then this one is also really cute. This is the Daisy Pumpkin. This is such a fun cutesy. If you like Halloween, but you're less about like the spooky, scary type stuff, and it's more of like the fall, the pumpkin, that kind of aesthetic, this is definitely the perfect like fall Halloween-esque without being full like Jack Skellington kind of vibes, because it does have these really pretty pumpkins, but they have these really whimsical, almost kind of like bohemian prints on them, and the sage and this kind of light blush color and this kind of like meringue orange color. Very, very pretty. So we do have lots of different options in these. Again, these launched yesterday, so they are all live on the website already. We have the tee and jogger sets, and those are retailing for $56 for the set, and then the sleep shirts are retailing for $52. And again, I wear a 2X in both of those options. Okay, perfect. With that, we can move on to the daily drops for today. So I'm going to go back off camera and I'm going to find some stuff that is launching today and put that on for you guys. And when I say find, I don't have to look too hard. It's literally on a rack right in front of me, but we'll get there. This one. I don't think I have a pair of jeans for today, so I'm gonna have to branch into tomorrow to grab pants to wear with my top, which is okay. I think these are the delts. Okay, perfect. I have found my outfit for you all. All right, I've got this on. I'm just gonna pop off and blow my nose again real quick and I'll be right back. Hopefully I don't have to do that after every outfit change, but we'll see how it goes. Okay. Oh, I love this top. I've already tried this on for photos, but I was in such a rush to get through all my photos that I didn't really stop to like appreciate a lot of the photo or the pieces I was trying on. This one is so pretty. So this is from Dex. Let me go back to today's drop because I had to switch to tomorrow's drop to find my pants, but let's do this. This is from Dex. This is the Quite Nice Patterns Pointel top in the color Ecru, which absolutely, I think that's a good way to describe it. This one's retailing for $70. It's in the full Dex size range, so extra small through extra large, and then X, 1X, and 2X for the plus size. Oh, right, sorry, I'm just seeing your comment now, but the cow prints on the pajamas are just incredible. I love them. So the extra small to extra large is the full straight size range, and then X, 1X, and 2X for the plus sizes. I am wearing the 2X in this one. This one does fit true to Dex sizing, so Christine can wear the extra small or the small. Carrie wears the medium. Melissa opted for the X for this one. Depending on the piece, she can be anywhere from an extra large to a 1X. So she's right smack dab in the middle with the X for this one, and then I am wearing the 2X. I definitely would not size down in this one. I find that this is definitely the right size. This one is a cotton poly blend. It's 60% cotton, so it's predominantly natural fabrics. My favorite part about this is I love the cut of the arms, how it's, I feel like a couple of years ago, the turtlenecks where they swooped up and came really narrow here were very trendy, and that was a really cool look, but it was not very accessible because it was like very daring. I feel like this is like a more accessible alternative, where it does cut in a little more narrow than you would expect a typical tank, but it's not coming so far in that you're showing all of this like area of your arm. So it's a little bit different, but it's still very accessible, if that makes sense. And I love the way that the point work of the knit on these triangles here on the bust are. That is just such a pretty detail. The fabric does feel quite nice because it is predominantly cotton. It doesn't have that like scratchiness because it's not wool, so it is very comfortable. We have that ribness that goes around the neck and continues all the way around the back, and we do get those same diamond patterns on the back as well. So really pretty top. This is definitely a really nice kind of like dressier thing to wear for fall, and I like that this would be great for layering in kind of like transition season because it is a sweater, but it is sleeveless, so you can wear something over top of it to layer, and then when it gets warmer, you can take it off and have your arms exposed, and that's going to keep you a little bit more cool. So again, this is the Quite Nice Patterned Pointel top, again in the color Ecru. $70 for this one. Sizes extra small through 2X, which is the full Dex size range. I am wearing the 2X, and I would say it's pretty true to size. We all kind of stuck with our typical Dex sizing for this one. I'm going to double check. I don't think I have any more tops for...
What? I launched this. Oh, you did?
No, I do not have anything else for today's daily drop, so I'm going to move right on to tomorrow, which is good because I'm already in pants for tomorrow, and because this is a little bit more cropped, it's going to be easy for me to kind of fold it up, and we can talk about the Wednesday jeans, and then I can move on to some of the tops. Perfect. Okay, so these are the Judy Blue High Rise Mid-Wash Straight Fit Jeans, aka the Dells. These ones are going to be retailing for $93, and they're available in sizes 1 through 15, and then 14 through 22 for the plus sizes. I'm wearing my typical 18 in these ones. These ones are interesting because I find that the actual denim on these jeans is very lightweight. It's a lot less structured of a denim. It's very light, it has a lot of stretch, and it's very non-structured in that it just kind of like falls. So this pair of jeans does have a pretty structured waistband. There's not a lot of, well, there still is stretch in the waistband, as we can see. Like I'm still getting a couple inches of room, and again, this is my 18, but it does have that kind of line in there where it's not super stretchy, and then everything below that, while it's cut like a straight jean, it kind of just falls because this is such a lightweight denim. These are also super breathable too if you're someone who finds denim can be quite warm sometimes, because again, this is such a lightweight, non-structured denim. It is super cool, it's super breezy. So again, I am wearing the 18 in these. Because they are so unstructured, we get a lot of that kind of bagginess. I think that's where the like dad jean vibe is coming in, is that they do have that very like structureless kind of vibe where they're tighter in the waist and then they just kind of like fall and hang off of you. No, Linda, you have hardly missed anything. We had some Shirley pajamas in the beginning, and this is the first full outfit that we've had. So you have hardly missed a thing, Linda. Yeah, so again, these are the Judy Blue high rise. I'm in my typical 18, and everyone else. Oh, okay, so I think these are one of these ones where the straight sizes and the plus sizes are cut slightly different because both Christine and Carrie sized up. Christine sized up to the 5, Carrie sized up to the 11, but Melissa and I are in our true 14 and 18. So I think that's one of those cases where if you're in the straight sizes, you might want to size up. I'm guessing that's probably because this waistband is a little bit more snug. But in the plus sizes, both Melissa and I still opted for our typical sizing for these guys. So again, this is the high-rise mid-wash straight fit jean, aka the Dell. These are the retailing for $93 and they're available in 1 through 15 and then 14 through 22. All right, I have 2 tops for sure, and then I have the Wanda Dolman sweater, which I haven't tried on yet. I believe it runs small, medium, large, but Carrie and I suspect that it is going to fit me. So I'm going to, it's launching today, or sorry, tomorrow. So I'm going to try it. If I come out wearing it, it means that it fits. If I come out and I am not wearing a red Dolman sweater, it is because it did not work for me. So we are going to find out together whether or not this one is going to work. Carrie did size down to the small in this one, and even in the small it looked like she had a bit of room, so that's why we think that the large might work for me. Okay. Oh, this is, Carrie had mentioned in her video, she's like, this is definitely giving Olena vibes if you've been with us for a while. And I could wear the Olena as well. And now that I'm in it, like absolutely, this is 1000% giving Olena vibes. So this one, like I mentioned, this is the Wanda Dolman sweater in Cabernet. This one is going to be retailing for $64, and this one is available in sizes small, medium, large, but they are pretty, there's a lot of wiggle room like in between the sizes. So Carrie and Christine both wear the small. I don't believe Melissa's tried this one yet. Just knowing because Melissa is bustier, I'm gonna guess she would probably stick with the large as well, just to make sure she has enough room for her chest. And then I'm wearing the large, and I could, like, if there was another size up, I would prefer it just because I do feel like when I move my arms, there's a little bit of extra stretch. But that being said, because I am not very busty, for someone who wears a 3X, I find that it still works really nicely. I still have like full range of motion in my arms. It's not like awkward or anything like that. And the other important thing is that it's not too tight in the neck. I'm someone who does not like having sweaters that are like really close to my neck or like turtlenecks like that. This one is not doing that to me. It is like, it's near my neck, but it's not pressing or anything like that. It's very comfortable that way. So I would definitely say that this sweater works for me. Styling wise, I would probably prefer to style this with something that has more of like a skinny jean or like a tight with boots or something like that. But this, I would definitely say, works for me. So again, this is the Wanda Dolman sweater in Cabernet. $64, sizes small, medium, and large, but I am able to make the large work for me. Thanks, Brenda. Yeah, I love this color. This is there. I believe we also have it launching in olive sometime throughout the week, but this one is launching tomorrow. So we're like, let's try this one and see, just because Carrie and I were curious if it would work, and it absolutely does. And I have another long sleeve and another sweater. So we've got lots of options for Wednesday for tops. So I'm going to go put one of the other ones on and come back. Next, I mean, it's a long sleeve top. It's sweater-ish, but it's not quite a full-on sweater. I guess it's more like a crew neck. This one's from Haptics. There we go. I think we've had this one in a couple of colorways already. I think we have another one coming later in the week or next week as well. So again, this is from Haptics. This is the, oh, I forgot to say the sweater before, the Wanda, that one is from Zanana. Okay, so this is from Haptics. This is the Bittersweet Floral Long Sleeve Top in red. This one is retailing for $49 and it's sizes small through 3X. I am wearing my typical 3X in this one, and I like it for that more relaxed fit. I can wear the 2X, but it's a little bit more close to the body, and I wanted it to have more of that looser, relaxed fit, so I did keep with my typical 3X. Everyone else is also in their true sizes, so Christine's in the small, Carrie's in the medium, Melissa is in the 1X, and I am in my typical 3X for this one. Material on this one is a poly rayon spandex blend. It's like a thin sweatshirt material. If I kind of show the middle, you can see it's got that like kind of woven inside, and then it has that brushed feeling outside. So it feels very snug and very cozy. I love that it almost has like not quite a bubble sleeve effect, but because it is a pretty nice, generous wide sleeve, and then it has that cuff at the bottom, it gives almost a little bit of like a poof sleeve vibe. It also has a drop shoulder, which is why I was like, oh, it's kind of more like a crew neck sweatshirt than it is a sweater. But really cute. I like that this is, it's like a non-traditional kind of orange for fall as well. It's described as red. It's giving like blood orange to me is how I would describe the color. So it's a little bit more red based and a little bit richer than our typical like fall burnt orange, which I really like, so that it's still orange, but if you're like, I'm not ready to let go of summer, especially because this has the big like Hawaiian flower prints, I think these are hibiscus, it's like, okay, maybe it's fall, but I still want to hold on to summer. That's the vibe that I get from this one. So again, this is the Bittersweet Floral. I guess it's bittersweet because it's like, oh, I guess summer's over. Bittersweet goodbye. So this is the Bittersweet Floral Long Sleeve in red. $49 for this one. It's sizes small through 3X, and we're all wearing our typical sizes for this one. Okay, I have one more sweater to try on for the daily drop today. This one is from Dex as well, and this one is absolutely gorgeous. It's probably my favorite piece. Well, I don't know if I can judge my favorite piece from the week just yet, but this one is definitely a contender because I absolutely adore this sweater. It was kind of like a sleeper hit for me too, because when I just pulled it off the rack, I was like, oh yeah, it's just another like, you know, like off-white sweater with some neutral stripes, like and then I put it on and I was like, wait a minute, this is actually stunning. It's also very soft, so it just feels really cozy and luxurious too. Okay. My favorite part about this sweater is that there's all these like very like neutral, kind of like a brown and blush stripes, and then there's just this like buttercream yellow one in the middle that like on its own not a super like standout color, but just compared to all the neutrals, that little pop of this bright yellow I think is so pretty, and that really caught me off guard, and that's probably my favorite part about this sweater. So this is the Stripes and Snuggles oversized sweater in neutral stripe. I think Stripes and Snuggles is the perfect way to describe it because yeah, it is so comfy and cozy because it is so soft. This one is retailing for $75, and it is available in the full deck size range, so extra small to extra large, and then X, 1X, and 2X for this one. We're all wearing our typical deck sizes in this one. Christine wears the extra small, Carrie's in the medium, Melissa wears the X, and then I am in the 2X. If I wanted it to be a little bit more of a close fit, I probably could size down to the 1X, but because it is meant to be an oversized sweater, it's literally in the name, I stayed with the 2X, and I actually adore the way that it fits. This is the size I would purchase for myself. I think it fits wonderfully. I do find that the sleeves are a little short for me, but this is a common thing I have with decks, and I'm the type of person to pull up my sleeves anyways, so that is a non-issue for me. This one is predominantly polyester with a bit of spandex for stretch. Do a 360 around. This one does not have a drop shoulder, but it's got the kind of lines here like a baseball tee, and I like that it has these like rough exposed seams on the outside. It just kind of like further lends to that like comfy cozy vibe. And the oversized one, it's like, it's not trying to be like a dressy sweater, it's meant to be like a curl up on the couch with hot chocolate kind of sweater. All right, again, this is the Dex Stripes and Snuggles oversized sweater in neutral stripe. This one's retailing for $75, and it's in the full Dex size range of extra small through 2X, and we're all wearing our typical Dex sizes for this guy. Okay, I think that was everything for my Wednesday. I'm just gonna have water here. Yes, that was everything. So I will pop on over to Thursday and see what we've got. Okay, I've got some different jeans for Thursday, so I'm gonna go pop those on. I'll be right back, and then I'll jump to Friday to pull tops as well. Alright, I've got cane jeans I need to find. I'm assuming that's these ones here. Canes, yes they are, perfect. Okay. Jeans are good. I'm going to check Friday the 12th and see what we've got for sweaters. Okay, that is those striped sweaters. Perfect. Okay, so I've got 2 sweaters on Friday, and then we also have a pair of jeans on Friday. So I'll do the first sweater with the Thursday jeans, and then I'll do the second sweater with the Friday jeans. It is the same sweater, just different colorways. Okay. They're super cute, but I'll start with the jeans first because those are the ones that are actually on Thursday. Come on. Perfect. Okay, so I am kind of in love with these jeans. They're so interesting. I was not expecting the way that they fit, and the description for them is really interesting because on, if you have a pair of Judy Blue jeans, you'll know that on the waistband on the inside towards the back, they'll have like a fit descriptor. And on this pair, it literally just says baggy, which I think is super cool. And I was like, what are these gonna fit like? And yeah, baggy is a great descriptor because they're like a wide leg, but they're wide everywhere. Like it's basically like they're tighter at the waist and then they just hang. Kind of similar to the other ones, except that this one, the denim is a little bit thicker and more structured, but it's the cut itself where they just kind of like fall from around the hip. So these are the canes, or as their full description is, the Judy Blue High Rise Light Vintage Wash Jean. These ones are retailing for $98 and they're available in sizes 1 through 15 and then 14 through 22 for the plus sizes. I am wearing my typical 18 in these and everyone else is wearing their typical size. So Christine in the 3, Carrie's in the 7, Melissa in the 14, and I am in my typical 18 for these ones. I love that they are like a vintage, like not quite full acid wash, but pretty close. You could really see that in like the waistband and like the detailing around the pockets too. There's a little bit of the, I can never remember what we call this, the lines on the pockets here. And then the fading on the thighs is pretty noticeable. And then whiskering, that's what we call it. And if we turn around, we can see there's lots of fading. And again, that like almost fully acid wash, definitely a vintage wash. I really like how these are cut. They are definitely like a vintage cut. They remind me of old Levi's with how, again, they're fitted at the waist and then they just kind of go straight. Like they are described as a baggy cut, and I would definitely agree with that. But that being said, I don't find that they're like unflatteringly so. Like I don't find I have too much extra fabric in the hip or anything like that for me. I like the way they fall. I think that they are actually quite a flattering cut even on a curvy body. I just think they're a really interesting pair of jeans, and I was really pleasantly surprised by these ones. So again, these are the Judy Blue High Rise Light Vintage Wash Jeans, aka the Canes. These ones are retailing for $98, sizes 1 through 15 and then 14 through 22, and we're all wearing our typical Judy Blue sizes in this one. All right. And then now we're moving back to the Friday stuff because this pair of jeans was the only plus thing for Thursday. But for Friday, I have 2 sweaters and another pair of jeans. So we'll do this sweater and then I'll go change into the other pair of jeans with the other sweater. I might have more than that. I just know that for sure I have those 2 sweaters. Okay, yeah, so it's the 2 sweaters and then the pair of jeans for Friday. So we'll start with this one. The sweater is the same sweater, just another color variant. So this is the Sonia striped sweater top in navy. This one is from Michelle May. It's retailing for $69 and it's available in sizes small through 3X. So typically I find that Michelle May's plus size tends to fit quite generous and I usually size down. This is I think one of the first situations where I did not. I am wearing the 3X and I would not size down in this one. I find that I did try on the 2X and it was just a little bit shorter in the torso than I would have liked, and I feel like for the intended kind of effect, I felt like the 3X did fit me really nicely. I do love that it's got these really short sleeves, like they're kind of like t-shirt sleeves or kind of like cap sleeves. They've got like that very square kind of armhole cut, and I like that there's no shoulder seam, that's just kind of like a full drop shoulder. I like the length on these, that it's not fully cropped, but it's definitely a little bit on the shorter side, and I like that it has this kind of slightly relaxed fit. I feel like it's a really nice kind of blend between being a casual cut but a more dress-upable style, if that makes sense. I also really like these colors. I feel like if you're someone who is an Oilers fan who wants something Oilers colors but a little more subtle, this is a great option because we've got the navy with the orange stripes. It's very much giving fall, but it also gives Oilers colors in like a less dramatic way. So I feel like for a lot of people, like if you work at a more like office type environment where they have like Oilers days and you want to dress up, but you don't want to look like full-on like fan, this is a really good option for you. I'll show it from the back as well. I love the horizontal stripes, especially again with that kind of like droopy sleeve shape. I think it just looks really nice and flattering. This is definitely a really pretty sweater, and I'm really glad we're offering it in 2 different colorways because I'm going to try on the other one next. But again, this is the Sonia striped sweater top in navy. $69 for this one, sizes small through 3X. I am wearing my typical 3X in this one. I know I typically size down in Michelle May, but for this sweater top in both colorways, I did not size down. I am wearing a 3X, and the rest of us are all wearing our typical size. So Christine in the small, Carrie's in the medium, and Melissa's in the 1X for this one.
I hope you appreciate it.
All right, I'm gonna pull my nose again. I'm gonna switch into the other one and be right back. On the home stretch. All right.
Over there.
So like I mentioned, we have one more pair of Judy's for Friday and then the same sweater. All right. So here we have, again, the same sweater, just in a different colorway. Oh, sorry, I see I missed somebody's comment. I found you by accident. Oh, totally agree, Katie, that it's like one of those like, oh, you're not sure until you see it on.
Pretty much.
Perfect. Okay, so again, this is the Sonia striped sweater top, but instead of being in navy, this is the shade ivory. So this one is again retailing for $69, same as the other one. Sizes small through 3X, and again, just like the other one, I am wearing my 3X, even though I typically wear a 2X in Michelle May, sometimes even a 1X, depending on the piece. But I did go with my usual 3X in this one. I find the fit and everything is identical to the navy one. Literally the only difference is that this one is the ivory with the black stripe. We still have that kind of drop sleeve, like where they're like kind of like t-shirt sleeves, kind of like cap sleeves, that not quite cropped length, but almost cropped. And then that horizontal striping going all the way through the back. I am a huge black and white fan. I mean, really, black is like my favorite color to wear. So this is definitely my preference, but I do like that we have both a darker base option and a light base option in the same sweater because it's really, really pretty. Again, this is the Sonia striped sweater top in ivory. $69 for this one. Sizes small through 3X, and we're all wearing our typical sizes in this one. Myself in the 3X. And then we're gonna hop down to the Judy Blues. I feel very at home in my skinny jeans, being the full-blooded millennial that I am. These are the dark wash skinnies, aka the George high rise. $97 for these ones, and they're available in sizes 1 through 15 and then 14 through 22W. I'm wearing my typical 18s in these ones. I find that they fit exactly as you would expect a Judy Blue skinny to fit. They're maybe a tiny bit tighter in the waist, just kind of like that first pair that I tried on the Dells. I find that these ones have that little bit of like a more harsh line in the waist here, but not so much that I would size differently than I normally do. I'm still in my 18, and everywhere else they have the typical Judy stretch that you would expect. I am curious though, because for the other ones that had that, I found that the girls in the straight size had to size up. That was not the case for these ones. Everyone is in their typical size for these ones. So Christine's in the 3, Carrie's in the 9, Melissa's in the 14, and I am in my usual 18. So these are true to Judy Blue sizing. These are very like classic kind of skinny jeans. I have owned many a skinny jean just like this in my lifetime. They are a very dark wash. With the front pockets, we have just the tiniest little bit of whiskering. It's like barely there, and we have just the tiniest little bit of fading on the top of the thigh. No distressing anywhere like or anything like that. And then if we look, we have again just like the tiniest little bit of fading on the back. But other than that, they are just like a very clean cut, classic kind of skinny jean. These ones, I'm not sure of the inseam. I'm gonna guess probably like a 28 or a 29. They are a little bit short on me, but that is just my stock in life. Being 6'1" with like a 35-inch inseam, that's just what I deal with. It was okay, but I feel like with skinny jeans, they're the easiest jeans to get away with being a little bit short, because then they're just ankle jeans, and ankle jeans are a thing, so you're all good to go. So again, these are the Judy Blue high-rise dark wash skinnies, aka George. $97 for these ones. Again, they're sizes 1 through 15 and then 14 through 22W for the plus sizes, and we're all wearing our typical Judy Blue sizes for these guys. Okay, I am not seeing anything else for plus size for Friday. I'm gonna double check and see if we have a Saturday launch. We do, but oh, it helps if I put the 5 at the end. Okay, so we do have a bunch of vests that are quilted vests and hooded vests, but they are not in plus, unfortunately, so I do not have anything to try there. And then I will check for Sunday. We have some Halle long sleeves, but again, not in plus. So that is actually going to wrap up everything that we have in plus for the week. So finishing a little bit early today, which is good because like I mentioned earlier, I'm exhausted because I am having one of the busiest weeks of work I've had in my entire tenure at this job. I have been working like 10 plus hour days and like working until like 10, 11 p.m. at night. I am exhausted. So I need to go back to work. So I am so glad everyone tuned in. Also, welcome to our newcomer. Actually, your name is Kaylee, I think. Welcome. I'm so glad you found us. If you haven't found it already, we have an insiders group. It's Lavender and Lace Insiders, and a lot of our customers will post photos and stuff in there. We'll put us, like those that work at the boutique will post sneak peeks. Christine and Carrie, the owners, will post in there asking like, hey, like, what do you think of this style? Do you like this or this? And so it's a really awesome place to sometimes get some like inside scoop, get advantage of deals before they go live to like the general public, and just kind of get like a cool place to hang and talk to other like-minded people. So definitely check that out. And once again, my name is Michelle. I'm the plus size, like 2X, 3X size model here at Lavender and Lace Boutique. I go live every Tuesday at 11 a.m. Mountain Daylight Time to try on all of the plus size pieces for the week, or even if they're not explicitly plus size labeled, if they're gonna work for a plus size body like mine, I will still try them on. Like we saw with that burgundy sweater earlier, size large, still look great on me. So if that is something that you want to check out, again, I am live every Tuesday, and you can find me exactly where you found me right now, which is on Facebook or Instagram. So with that, I wish everyone a wonderful rest of your week. Perfect. Oh, okay, and that's the best thing too, Kaylee, is that we have models in all sizes. So Christine's typically a small, Carrie's typically a medium. We have Melissa, who is anywhere from like an extra large 1X, sometimes a 2X. She's kind of our mid-size model, and then I am our plus size model. And sometimes we have some of our warehouse staff who will try on things in different sizes. And so like no matter what size you are, we probably have someone here who's willing to try something on who can help you figure out what your size is. So like super accessible. So definitely check it out and welcome. It is so nice to meet you. All right, have a good weekend, everyone. Bye-bye.